So let's talk about the second costly mistake leaders make, not knowing the real cost of claims. And we talk about the real cost of claims, we're talking about not only the direct cost of those claims, but the indirect cost of those claims as well. And that picture of an iceberg is a great depiction of really what we're talking about here. Because most every time the actual physical cost of a claim pales in comparison to the indirect cost that those claims have on your company. So let me explain this a little bit further. Who here has heard, let me see a show of hands, of the terminology total cost of risk? Who's heard of it? Total cost of risk. Good. It's been around for a long time. It's been around since 1974. It was created by a guy by the name of Frank E. Bird Jr. And Frank had a publication called The Real Cost of Accidents Can Be Measured and Controlled. Now I'd like everyone just to stop, and I want you to think about how much your company pays in premiums right now and put that number in your head. Or how much do you think your company is paying in premiums? Put that number in your head. Talking everything. Your property, liability, workers' comp, health care. It's probably a big number. But let's say it's $100,000. What the science of TCOR says, if your premium was $100,000, your total cost of risk is conservatively over $1 million. Which means your bigger cost to your companies isn't what you pay in premiums. It's what's below the waterline. How much did your last bad hire just cost you? Think about it. Who's had someone working with you for 5, 6, 7 months and they left your company? It's happened to me. SHRM, Society of HR Managers, you all are well aware of, they put a publication out several years ago saying if you've got someone making $30,000, $35,000 a year and they're with you for 6 months and they go, that employee cost you upwards of $70,000, $75,000. Extremely expensive. The cost to rehire, the cost to retrain, the loss of production, your involvement, attorney involvement. It's extremely costly to your companies. Extremely costly to your companies. So what's the moral of the story here? The moral of the story here is you want to find resources. When you think about your risk management program, think beyond just getting quotes. Think beyond that. Look for resources that you can actually have and use that can help you lower your operational costs. So let me direct your attention. Let me share some with you that comes out of OSHA called indirect loss cost factors. Again, indirect loss cost factors. What OSHA says is for any claim that you have, there are some very real additional costs associated with them. And as you can see, they've got factors there that range anywhere from 1.1 to 4.5. So a $10,000 claim turns into $20,000 really actually pretty quickly. Now, if everyone would, pull out your cell phone if you would. Pull out your cell phone and put it in calculator mode. I want to take you through a quick, brief, simple math problem, but let me know when you're there. Now, I told you I was going to take you back to the example that we talked about with Dave. I told you that Dave had a claim, and that number I want you to put in your calculator is $67,488. That was the number that we just talked about in Dave's situation. Now, I want you to multiply that times the lowest, multiply that times 1.1. That was the lowest factor that we had from before. And what do you come up with? Who's got it? $74,236. Now, keep that number in your phone. That's the cost of your indirect costs. Now, add back to that number, add in $67,488. And what do you come up with? $141,725. Wow. That's a big number. And that's just the cost of just really one workers' compensation claim.